It's easy to start learning Japanese. The trouble is, after a while, it can be tough to stay motivated. Here's why it happens and what you can do to stop it getting between you and your Japanese learning goals. Let's get to it. So when you start something new, for example, a new diet or an exercise regime or a language, you often go into it with all this motivation. It's like there's this spark and you're energized with that goal in the front of your mind, ready to do whatever you can to make it happen. There's a honeymoon phase where anything and everything about it is exciting and brand new. You dive headfirst into anything at all that'll help you get closer to your goal. But then, as you start falling into habits, not everything is new anymore. Not everything is exciting, and you may find that goal just isn't as important anymore. This can happen when learning a language like Japanese. You may reach a point where it doesn't feel like you're learning as much anymore. Sure, you know how to introduce yourself, you can ask for directions, you've even mastered the phrase "kore wa pen desu," but it doesn't feel like you're learning any big concepts one day to the next. It's here that you almost feel like you've hit the brakes on your learning, even though you are still actually learning. The reality is, your first step will always feel more important than your 1000th. I've struggled with this in the past myself. I spent like 12 months studying Japanese in preparation for a trip to Japan, only to come back and realize, is it really worth my time to learn this language? I inevitably did keep studying the language, and several years later, here I am still studying it. So, what can you do to keep pushing through and go forward along this path? I'm glad you asked. Here are 3 things that I think you need to do to reignite that fire and get you back into learning Japanese. Number 1, you need to understand why you lost motivation in the first place. Perhaps life got too busy. Maybe you only wanted to learn Japanese to watch anime, and you've since learned to live with subtitles. Maybe you found it too difficult and you told yourself you're not good enough. To which I say it's not, and you are. Whatever the reason, you need to learn why you lost focus so you can regain that focus and move forward. Number 2, focus on your goals and why you want them. If you clicked on this video, chances are that you'll still want to learn Japanese, at least a little bit. And that's okay. What I want you to do is think about what made you start learning Japanese in the first place. Do you like traveling? Do you love Japanese music? Do you have Japanese friends you want to get to know better? Focus on that reason. And now we're going to take it a step further. I want you to imagine what your life is going to be like when you've achieved that goal. Seriously, just visualize it for a second. Picture yourself watching anime without subtitles. Picture yourself making business deals with Japanese companies. Picture yourself ordering famichiki with perfect pronunciation. Whatever it is, it's important to not only keep sight of what your goals are, but why you want them to begin with. And number 3, you have to persist. If you follow those last 2 steps and you're still keen to learn Japanese, there's only one thing left to do. Push through. Write down your goals if you have to. Keep them by your bed. Just stay consistent with your studies and eventually you will break through. You might not feel like you're making giant leaps at times, but every now and then you will read something or hear something or sometimes even say something, and you'll be able to think to yourself, hey, I couldn't have done that a few months ago. But persisting is easier said than done. And to do it, you might want some sort of alternative resource to help supplement your studies and keep you engaged and motivated. I made a video on this exact topic. I listed 5 different resources you can use that can help you keep going with the Japanese. I use these just so I've got different things and different ways to learn. I think it's really helpful, so if you want to check out that video, I reckon it could probably help you if you're struggling to stay motivated with Japanese. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you got something of value out of this video. I've got more Japanese learning videos coming soon, so until then, I've been Haz, and I will see you next time.